Hello, everyone, and welcome to another webinar brought to you about Tiggzi. But this time, we're at Exadel. We're also going to be having we're doing a webinar jointly with some of our partners. We'll have a gentleman from the Wholesale Applications Community, otherwise known as WAC, and also some people from Deutsche Telekom Developer Garden. The theme of this webinar is, as you can see from the title, it's just pretty straightforward: building mobile apps with the Wack API and Tiggzi mobile app builder. We'll get into more details, but let's just get here. All right. First of all, there'll be some brief presentations to just highlight the different partners involved. Frank Fisher will be telling you a little about Deutsche Telekom Developer Garden, and you see Paul Kenny will be telling you about WAC. And David Schoenbach will be speaking for Exadel. We also have as the actual presenter of the demo that's at the heart of this whole webinar will be Andrei Glazunov, who's a senior developer at Exadel. And here's our plan today. It's pretty simple. A bit about Developer Garden, a bit about WAC, and the bit about WAC will not just be about the organization, but a little about background on how the API works itself. And then David will talk a little about Exadel and Tiggzi, and then we'll have the live demo where you actually can see for yourself exactly how the WAC API and the Tiggzi mobile app platform, development platform, works together. And at the end, there'll be a question and answer period. So just a few housekeeping details before we launch into this. Everyone who registered for the webinar will receive an email afterwards with a link to the recording. So if you can always go back and see the recording. We also, along with using the normal webinar facilities for archiving recordings, we also put them up on YouTube. So you'll see information about how to access all these things. And also in the lower right-hand corner, you should see a place where you can put questions. You can ask questions at any point. We'll just go through them at the end, or you can wait till the end to ask questions. We'll try to get through all of them, but obviously, you can never count on getting through everything. But at the end, as the final slide, there'll be a list of email addresses for different people who participated in this. And you can always just send an email to somebody, to the appropriate person at the end in order to get your question answered. So I think that's about it. We hope that you enjoy this webinar. We really appreciate people taking time out of their busy days to come and listen to us talk. So let's get on with it. First, I'd like to have Frank Fisher, who will be telling you a little about Deutsche Telekom and Developer Garden. So take it away, Frank.
Thank you very much. So my name is Frank Fischer. Welcome to this webinar from our side. I'm working for Deutsche Telekom, one of the larger telecom operators in this world, and as I just read, one of the most known German brands worldwide, so I'm quite proud of this one too. Me and my team, we are responsible for the technical platform of what I am about to show you now in the next few minutes, and also for the technical evangelism, the developer evangelism in specific. And one of our major points of service where we try to offer information and lots of things around it is Developer Garden. And you see just a screenshot of it. The website, www.developergarden.com, is our main channel into the developer community. We are offering information all around the things that we as telco can provide to the developer community. And what we can provide is listed on the right side. You see the APIs that we are already published. So you can, as of today, you can simply access them and can use them in your own applications. Those APIs are RESTful APIs, so they are quite easy to access. And to make it even more easy, we are trying to help you in this direction to offer SDKs and sample applications and stuff, and all of this is brought together at Developer Garden, our channel into the community. This is what we have today, and what you can see is typical stuff like SMS or MMS services, things like WAC payment, and this will be one of the major topics later on. So I don't want to steal anybody any thunder. So I don't go on deep in this one. What we also have is a kind of a specialty to Deutsche Telekom, because Telekom is more than an operator in that sense. We also have daughter companies, for example, the Scout24 group, that operate listing services. And you can access the database of those guys by using APIs that are provided through Developer Garden. This is what we have today. And what I want to introduce now is a bit of a look of the future and how we want to evolve Developer Garden within the next few months. And therefore, we have prepared another slide. Just the next slide, please. Yeah, I see the mouse moving. Thank you. It's a kind of a technical thing, but since we are all developers, I don't hesitate to go in deep here. So the idea that we have is we call it B2B2X. And the idea behind that is, if you look at the, say, on the kind of a formula here, you see the B2X. With X meaning B or C. So what does this mean? The one B, the first B, this stands for developers. So ISVs for, say, companies or even individuals that build software, that build applications. And those applications are offered to two kinds of customers, so business customers and consumer customers. So the B and the C, this is the hidden idea behind it. So the idea here is that several ecosystems, as of today, are out there and need to be supported. And we as a Deutsche Telekom are taking part in those ecosystems, obviously, because we are a telco provider. We are also offering applications and stuff. So we thought about how could we get better in serving developers? What could we do to really serve developers in a better way? And this is the B in the front of it, where Developer Garden is. And we had some ideas, and we can break it down on three, say, main chunks of things that we want to provide within the next few months by using Developer Garden to you as a developer community. The first thing is we already started by providing RESTful APIs. What we will do here is we will aggressively go further. We will, say, double or we will triple the number of APIs that we are able to offer you to use. And we will constantly try to do whatever service, whatever kind of hardware, whatever piece of whatever Deutsche Telekom can offer. This will be published as an API so that you can take advantage of it and you can use it in your applications. This is number one. Number two, where we can help is we need to make it easy to access those APIs. And some of them are, and this is the thing of the nature of the API, for example, if you have a kind of a transactional thinking or stuff like that, some of them are more complex and some are less complex. And we want to make it quite easy to access the even complex things by providing you good samples, good applications that you can go through and see how things are done, up to ready done components. You simply can drag and drop into your project, and you don't have to bother about the underlying plumbing. This is all done for you. You only have to use what the component offers you, and you don't have to do anything on top of that. And number three is, and this is something that is also quite interesting that a telco can provide, is new business models. So right now in the app space, it is interesting to see that there is more or less two main ways of monetizing your app or your work that you did. The one thing is you're really trying to get a license fee out of it. Another one is you try to make it on advertisement or on marketing-based funding. And we as a telco, we have additional ways of helping you to monetize your application and your work there. One example you will just see in this webcast, which is the WAC payment, but we have additional ideas, and we want to say, provide those ideas within the next few months over Developer Garden as APIs to you as a developer community. So the next slide, and this is also my last slide. I would like to invite you, be part of it, go look it for yourself, go to www.developergarden.com, have a look at it, browse around, see what kind of information we already compiled. If you are interested in how this all evolves and if it makes sense for you, be part of it, register, and we will keep you updated and online so that you will be the #1 to learn on what we can do here, and also give us feedback. Don't be shy. Give us feedback on what you are missing, what we can do better, and what you think that might help us in the future, both in a sense from you as a developer community as well as from us as a telco. So, and this is my introduction. I hope it was kind of an interesting thing, and maybe you have some questions later on. But now, without any further ado, let's go into the technical part of the thing, and let's see how the WAC payment functions. So I give over to the next speaker.
All right. Thanks, Frank. That speaker will be Paul Kenny. He's represented from WAC. And let me just get his first slide up, and you can even get a photograph of Paul. So take it away, Paul.
Hi, thank you very much for the kind introduction there. And so I really just wanted to tell you a little bit about what WAC is and what we offer to the developer community. WAC is an open global alliance of some of the leading companies in the mobile telecoms industry. It's operator-led, and we have some of the largest operators in the world with WAC, and we have extensive global coverage. So we're present in the Americas with AT&T, with Verizon Wireless, and with America Mobile. We're present in Europe and the Middle East with companies like Orange, Deutsche Telekom, obviously, Vodafone, Telefonica, Telenor, Telekom Austria, and so forth. And then we have a strong presence in the Asia-Pac region as well, with both China Mobile and China Unicom, who are members, with NTT Docomo and SoftBank members who are members from Japan. And then in Korea, we have all 3 Korean operators, KT, SKT, and LGU+. And we also have Smart in the Philippines. But in addition to those operator members, we also have a large number of other participants in the company who are companies like Qualcomm, Huawei, Alcatel-Lucent, Samsung, and Ericsson, to give you a couple of examples. In total, I think we have about 60 members of the company. So if you can just jump on to the next slide, please. So really what we're about is delivering the best mobile payment experience to end users and merchants. What we're trying to do is provide the best charge-to-bill user experience in the market, make it open to all developers, and provide those developers with tools such as an easy-to-use SDK and developer website. We provide an enterprise-quality platform, so the API gateway that we have is highly scalable and secure, and is using the same infrastructure as is used for leading internet companies like Netflix. It can support about 20 billion calls a month today. The solution that we're using for operator billing is IP-based, so there's no premium SMS, which means we have more reliability and better auditability of the system. And the settlement system that we're using, which is quite important because that's the bit that sort of shuffles the money around between the operators to us and onto the developer's bank account, is an enterprise-level system which is SAP-based. We also provide customer care services. So for many of the operators, we provide helplines for customers to call in. We provide online portals both for customers to connect to be able to see what transactions have been made through the WAC API. We provide email support, and in many markets where possible, we also provide we do sort of automatic refund management if it comes to that. We have significant coverage with the operators who are members so far. So we're live in places like Germany. We're live in Spain. We're live in the US with AT&T, and we have a number of other operators such as Orange, Mobile, and Telefonica who are currently in deployment with us, and we expect to be live with them in the next few months. In total, we're expecting to have about, if you look at the combined customer base of the operators that we're live with, we expect that we'll have about 300 million customers who are indirectly connected to the WAC API by next month. And we're also in discussions with China Unicom and China Mobile, and clearly there's there's some very significant subscriber numbers there, so we're very keen to get them live as well. If we could just move to the next slide, please. Okay, so what I wanted to do now was just give you an overview of what the experience looks like from a customer's perspective. And I'm going to go through two examples. So one is a situation where the customer is connected to the mobile radio network. So that's the sort of experience that you would expect to get if you were on your mobile phone. But clearly, in our case, we're not just dependent on having a mobile phone network connection or an internet connection. We can also do this for Wi-Fi enabled devices as well, and I'll talk about that on the next screen. But for this one, it's a very simple sort of three-step process. So if you can imagine that within an application, the customer has the option to, say, buy additional credits within the game or unlock the level of a game, or it could be to, say, buy a magazine or some form of virtual good. Then you offer the customer the opportunity to buy this service. And the next page you see in the second box there is an advice to charge page that we provide to the customer, which tells them what they're about to buy, who they're about to buy it from, how much they're about to pay, provides them with the terms and conditions, and then all they have to do is click buy, and it brings them onto the next page. And on that next page, you get notification that the amount has been charged to your mobile bill, gives you a transaction ID, and we also send the customer an SMS message so that they're aware and that they have a record of how much they've spent and who they've spent it with. And we also provide email support there. We provide a free phone help number in this case so that the customer can ring up if they have a problem or if it's a transaction they didn't expect. In this one, we've just done a demo version, but in many of these, we'll put the operator's logo on there so the customer can be confident that they're making this purchase through a trusted brand, and that helps obviously with the completion of the transaction. If you could just jump to the next slide, please. So on the next slide, we talk about the experience that you could have when you're connected via a Wi-Fi network or say via fixed internet. So this could be an experience that you have, say you're playing an online game on your PC, or it could be when you're looking at something on a web page on a tablet. And in this case, again, similar sort of model where you're given an option to upgrade or to buy some sort of virtual good. In this case, since you don't have a mobile network connection, we ask you for your mobile number, and you submit that mobile number, and then what happens is we send a 4-digit one-time code to that mobile number. And so, we're confident that this works because we know from, the research that we've done that the one device that customers tend to have with them all the time is their mobile phone, and that's becoming more common rather than less common. And so they have that one-time PIN, they enter that into the box on this, and then they click buy, and then the rest of the procedure is the same again. You get a confirmation of the page telling you how much you've been charged, giving you a transaction ID, and of course we send the customer a receipt as well with that transaction ID and a record of that transaction. So we think that's a pretty good user experience and leads to pretty good conversion for the end customer. So if we could just jump to the next slide, I'd like to talk a little bit about customer care and refund management. So on this one, the customer has the ability to go online. They can enter their phone number, and again, we manage this through the interplay with the mobile device. So if you're on your PC, you can enter your mobile number. We'll send a PIN code to the mobile number, and then you can log on to see what purchases you've made on that number. And then you can get more detailed information by clicking any of those items. So you can see who the developer is, what the developer's contact details are, what their contact phone numbers are, when the transaction was made, pretty full detail. And then if you're not happy with that information, you can request a refund online. And so all of this leads to lower customer care costs for the operator and of course for the developer, and it leads to better customer satisfaction as well, because the customer is happier about the fact that they're able to get access to this information. They have a clear audit trail of what they're spending their money on, how they're spending it, and in the rare cases where that expenditure has been unjustified or accidental, say, then they have the ability to request a refund. Right? There's a problem with the stuff that they bought. But of course, we have measures in there to protect the developers as well from people who might buy lots of stuff and then use it and then say, actually, I want a refund for that. So we have a blacklisting procedure as well, whereby if somebody is habitually requesting refunds, then clearly they're abusing the service, and we'll just prevent them from being able to do that again. And so that provides you an overview of what we're doing in terms of customer care side of things. So if we could just jump to the last slide of my presentation, please. So here, it's just letting you know that if you go to wackapps.net.sdks, you can see the sort of developer tools that we make available. We have SDKs available for Android, for PHP, for PhoneGap, for JavaScript and HTML5. And of course, we have our plugin to the Tiggzi platform as well. And so I will pass it back so that you can hear more about that now.
Oh, thanks. Thank you for that, Paul. Now, David will talk a little about Tiggzi by Exadel.
Hi there, this is David Schoenbach from Exadel. I want to thank Paul from WAC and also Frank from Deutsche Telekom Developer Garden. We're really thrilled to be working with these innovative and creative companies addressing both the technology and the business of mobile development. Exadel is a mobile development company with deep experience in addressing the needs of corporate development for back-end services as well as front-end, and with many years of mobile experience. Over the years, we've developed tools and resources for our developer community, and from that, most recently, we've built the Tiggzi environment, which is a platform for development, a cloud-based platform for mobile development. We're going to go right into the demo of it, so I'm going to say very little here. Andrei Glazunov will be presenting that, and so we'll get into all that in just a moment. Just to briefly say that this is a cloud-based, Tiggzi is a cloud-based environment for mobile development, and is intended as the easiest and most rapid way of building apps using APIs. We'll go ahead, and you'll have more contact information at the end, but Tiggzi is available at tiggzi.com. That's Tiggzi.com. And let's just move right along and do the demo.
So let's see. Now I'm going to switch over to Andrew Glazunov. All right, so now we're switching over to Andrew, so pretty soon you should see his screen. There we go. Hello, Andrew.
Andre, you may still be on mute. We don't hear you yet.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thanks. My name is Andrei Glazunov, and I work at Exadel. And today I'm going to show you the fast way to build an application with a payment API and with in-app billing system using Tiggzi and Wack API. So the first thing that we are going to do is go into Tiggzi website and logging in. So Tiggzi is a cloud-based development environment for building mobile apps. And once we are in it, we see the list of projects that we already have, and we have ability to create a new one. So we are going to add a new mobile app that will be a blank mobile app for now. It will be using a blank template. And we're going to call it WAC payment. On this screen we have an ability to add plugins. For example, we have a WAC plugin that provides an easy way to access WAC APIs. So we select WAC payment plugin under the commerce category. And once we have pressed the button, our project is being created, and Tiggzi will load this project for us. It's cloud-based, so we can access the project from any place. Tiggzi is in the cloud, and the project is stored in the cloud as well. And we don't need to install anything to use Tiggzi. We just access it from browser. Also, we have a bunch of collaborative tools that are being loaded right now. We have an ability to create the project simultaneously with a team. There is a chat feature, and there is collaboration features. Now our project has been created, and for those who haven't used Tiggzi yet, I will introduce the interface of Tiggzi. On the left-hand side, there is a control panel with several tabs. On one of them, there are components that are located in different palettes. For example, we have a bunch of jQuery mobile components available for dragging and dropping to the screen. We see them in a mobile palette. We have also device components that represent some components that are device specific. For example, camera or barcode scanner or geolocation. They are added with a phone gap. It's an underlying technology of accessing the native features with Tiggzi. And we also have services components, which is a way to provide connectivity between Tiggzi frontend and REST-based backend. This feature will be usable for today's webinar. I will jump into it a bit later. Also we have a project tab here with a set of assets available to the project. Today we are going to use the project profile, the screens, also the services, and JavaScript. So in the center area you see the emulation of a mobile screen with components that are located there. Here is a header, content, and a footer. And on the right-hand side, there are two tabs. One stays for properties of the component. For example, now you see the screen properties, but if you select other components, you will be navigated to the properties of this component. Also, we have Events tab, which stores the handlers for some events like the button click or service invocation. Also, we have a test button here that will launch a new browser tab where we can test the application. Also, we can test the app in a mobile browser. For example, we can scan a QR code and launch this application in the browser. Also, we have a very useful export feature with which we are able to export our project to different platforms. So it will be an app rather than something executed in the browser. For now, we have an options of exporting to Android binary or Android Eclipse project. Also, we can export to Xcode project or to iOS binary. For Windows phone, we also have an ability to export to Visual Studio project from which it can be compiled to the mobile app for Windows Phone, and we have an ability to export it as HTML or CSS plus JavaScript. So we have just created a project from a plugin, and it already provides us with a project template, which has several screens, services, and JavaScript assets. And it's a working solution, but it needs to be customized to suit our needs. We will be able to test it in the browser right now. So let's do it. This template project represents a project with the ability to buy virtual goods like dictionary applications. It was demoed by David at Mobile World Congress, and this shows us the sample app with in-app payment. So we can select one of the dictionaries listed, click Buy button, and now the payment is being redirected to the WAC system. It asks us to provide a mobile number. There are actually a bunch of testing mobile numbers that can be used by developers for testing purposes. They are listed in the documentation that you see now. So I'm going to copy the testing number for successful payment and test the application. So I have already got it here because I have used it before. So just to make sure, I'll paste it. So then I click Submit, and in a real app, in the real system, WAC will send a message to my phone, and with a PIN that I will use to authorize the payment. As we are in testing mode, we use the test PIN, which is 4681. So we click Buy. The WAC page says that the payment is successful. We click Confirm, and now we are getting back to our application. Okay. This was intended to bring us to the page when it says that the payment is successful. It doesn't do it because we have to modify our application, our properties of application to use our project and our credentials. So now we are going to customize the app, and actually when we customize it and add our own products that we want to sell instead of these template dictionaries, we will be able to see the successful payment page within our app. So now we are going to customize it, and I'm going to customize it to an application that sells electronic music. So we will be able to browse the catalog and also make add some more dynamics, add some parameters to the display list, and we are going to build an application with our own products. So the first thing I'm going to do is changing this theme, this visual view, because I think it will look better with another theme. So I go to the project profile and see that we have some settings here, like project name, description, and start screen. For start screen, I will actually set a splash screen that is in the template. It's showing us the title of the app and this image. So we are also going to use it, but we'll change it to our screen, our image. We set different theme. I will set jQuery mobile black theme. So we click Save and Close. Now we see that the theme has changed, and I'm also going to change the splash screen first. So I see that the name is World Dictionaries, which doesn't suit me. I go to Properties panel and I set another name. It would be Music Store. I also going to change this image to another one. I have already prepared an image for our app. It's called AppSplash, and it's located on my desktop. So I'm going to change this asset, and I will upload a new file from my desktop, and I will select it as an asset for this image component. So what I'm going to do next is going to the main screen and also changing the title. So we select an album, and now it's time to define the items that we are going to sell. First, we need to go to the WAC developer website, to here, and I'll log in here. With our developer login, and this is the portal where we are able to define our applications and the items that they are going to use. We go to the dashboard, and then to manage payment APIs link. So we see the apps that we already have, and we are going to add a new one. So we are creating a payment API key, which is basically a new application that is defined within WAC. So we are going to call it Tiggzi Music Store. So version number will be 1.0. Application platform. Let's set it as HTML5 because our Tiggzi produces HTML5 pages with JavaScript, and they are later wrapped with PhoneGap, and so it can become a mobile application. To buy digital music. Okay, so we need to set it to as a web-based app because we need our custom redirect URL. We will set it up. I think we'll set it up later because now we are interested in the items that we have, and we'll get to this page later on to set our redirect URI. So now it's time to create new product items. I have already got some of them. So we are going to have like 1, 2, 3, 6 albums. It will be a pretty small and cozy music store. So we are going to add some albums that we are selling. So we create new product item. We are going to add them all. So I'm adding just album titles. So as a product IDs. Now we are going to select the markets that we are going to sell for. As we are doing demo application, this is not really important, but once you are creating your app that will be live, you should select the markets that you will target. And also we set the price points here for the albums that we are selling. I will just set some random prices because I'm not yet selling it to anyone. It's for our demonstration. So, okay. So we are going to set all these price points for all the products, and after we are done with the WAC site, we'll go to Tiggzi site, where we also will have some products information that is that will be not on the WAC side, but it will be coming from our app, and this will be such product information as product images and the genre of the records and the duration of the records of the albums. So now we are going to set the price point for the last product. And we are now on the final step. We are reviewing our items. Yeah, they seem to be all right. Now we see that they all have the product codes. I will copy it to the clipboard and paste it on Notepad because we need them later. So we are creating our payment API key now. So now we see that our application is created, and we can go back to manage APIs and see that our new app has appeared here, Tiggzi Music Store. We see the parameters that we need to access this application, like its ID, client ID, shared secret, and redirect URI, which we actually are going to change later. And now we are ready to jump back to Tiggzi and add our custom properties for the application. So there are actually two points where you can enter your info. First, we are going to go to configuration service, and we see that there is a set of properties that we are using to access the app. So I'm going to copy the application ID, the client ID, which is API key, and the shared secret. So also we need to go to generic security content service, and here we also see that there is an API key that we need to replace, which is the client ID, and the redirect URI. The thing is that we need to modify this part with our project ID, which we can copy from the address bar. So this was the reason that we didn't get template project displaying the result to us, but now we have right redirect URI, and we are going to set it in our application in the back. So we are not using the default, and instead we are using the one that we have got in the Tiggzi environment. So now the WAC will save our app properties, and we also need to set the another name for this context, because it's like a new Tiggzi standard that we must have all the services to have valid JavaScript names. So I will remove spaces. What we are going to do now is defining our properties of our products within Tiggzi. So we need first we need to go to get items properties service, and here we have the service that stores our item properties. Now it's in echo mode. That is actually a sort of way to to simplify the testing. For example, we in this case we don't need to have a working service for these items available anywhere. We can just emulate the response of the service. But once we want to make our application dynamic, we can simply substitute the URL to Tiggzi URL and check the enable echo service, so it will be available dynamically. So here we see that there are some properties of this template project component, and we are going to replace them with our own results. I have already got the draft version of this response. We have images and names and artists and genres and duration for every album that we are going to sell. So the only thing that is remaining is IDs. We are going to link it with WAC directory. So we are going to go one by one and paste these IDs. So we have rhythm album, so we are going to paste it ID in the corresponding field. Then we have a blackjack, so by Ray Charles, and here it goes. Then we are going to make the same thing with every album that we have. And finally, we paste the last product ID, and this is going to be our response of our echo service. But as I have already mentioned, if we have a backend that can produce this result to us, we can use it in Dynamics. So we are going to save this service, and we can try to check whether it works now and our products have been replaced. So we see our new splash screen, and now we see that all our albums are displayed in our application, so which is pretty good result. So I'm going to click on one of the albums, and I also see that it's changed now. I see the description and the product ID of this album, and this is good. And I want to go further and display some additional information, because obviously on the home screen we also need to know who is the artist performing the music in this album, and also on the detail page, I don't think that we need this product ID because we are developing it for the end user that maybe is not interested in knowing this product ID. Instead, the user might be interested in knowing the duration of the record, the one that we have in the properties, duration. So I'm going to make these adjustments now. I will create a new label that I will call artist label. I'm going to make it a bit smaller and add the same margin that has the product name field. I think it's around 5 or maybe 7. Okay. Artist. I also am going to make some more room for these labels, like this. And now I'm going to add some processing that the artist will be shown in this label. Before we do it, let me introduce you to the service that we are using to query the products from WAC, and also I'm going to show you some nice feature of Tiggzi, such as data mapping. So in this service, we see that there are some request parameters and response parameters that we have already got populated and tested as a part of development of the plugin. So you don't need to do it yourself. You rather export the plugin. You just create the project from the plugin, and that's it. So we have a data mapping feature that basically helps you to provide the input and output for the service. For example, for response, we have the items mapped to the list. So each item that is received from WAC is going to the list of the items of albums in our app. So we also have mappings for price labels from response, and now we are going to add a mapping to the artist label. So basically, if we have a very simple service, we just drag and drop the response parameter to the property of any component, and it's bound together, and the property value that goes from the service is put to the property of the component. But here, as long as we have one service to query the products and the other to provide some other values.
I'm going to interrupt here for just a minute because we're low on time. This will be shared with all the participants via email, and also will be available on via YouTube. And if you want to continue building this, Andre, as I speak for just a few minutes. I do want to say we probably will have to cut the Q&A to just a few minutes, but we will have, there are a few questions here that have come up. One was the question of availability of the plugin for the WAC API. That will be shortly available across all versions of the Tiggzi product, and that'll be made available as part of the public plugin catalog that's being populated in the coming days and weeks. Additionally, there were questions about the about specifics of the WAC API, and we will show in just a moment the various contact information so people can get their questions to our various partners, both WAC and Deutsche Telekom Developer Garden. Other questions we should cover right now. As I mentioned, the slides will all be available online and via connection. And the specific partners for WAC. Paul, do you want to speak to current availability of the WAC API across carriers?
Thanks. Yeah. So I think I mentioned earlier on we're live with about 10 operators at the moment, including with AT&T in the U.S., with a couple of operators in Germany, and in other places around, like Telefonica in Spain, with Telenor in Serbia, with MTEL in Bulgaria, and so forth. And we would expect that in June. And towards the end of June, we'd also be going, or June, July actually, sorry, we'll be going live with a number of operators in the UK and in France. So obviously we'll be posting those details to our website and mailing out to our developer base as those operators come on live, so you're aware of what's live where and when.
Very good. And also a question for Deutsche Telekom, are the Deutsche Telekom APIs available, are they published internally or are they available to the public?
So I think I will take this question. Actually, we have both. We have lots of public APIs, but we are also using the mechanism internally for some kind of internal products that we have on the market. Our main and also the published goal on what we are trying to do and trying to achieve for the APIs is that we want to have as many public APIs as there can be, and every private API is a future public API. So we are on the run to get everything public.
Very good. Okay, Charlie, if you can display the contact information. I think we have a picture of the whole process, and we're going to switch presenters so that the contact information is shared.
All right, so that will just be temporary. All right. All right, so that should be visible now. If you want to note this, this information will also be available in other means too, but this is a good opportunity to take down this information. Part of it is just to get you, all three of these, all three organizations here are all based on, are community driven, so a lot of our appeal is for people just to jump right in to get involved with either with Tiggzi, with the Wholesale Applications Community, with Developer Garden. So there are the URLs, and there's the contact information. If you have a question that comes up or that didn't get answered, you can always post it directly to one of these emails. And for Tiggzi in general, there's the support info.
So we'll switch back just for a last few minutes with Andre, so you can complete the app. So if you can just go directly to the completion of that app, that would be great.
All right. Sorry for the interruption, Andrew. We just wanted to make sure people who might drop off because it's the end of the hour, so we wanted to get this in.
Okay, so now we are going to complete the app. I'll just remind you that we're mapping the components to each other, and as long as we have our data coming from multiple sources, we also have a custom JavaScript transformation for the application input. So we are going to see that this transformation is basically based on taking one of the item properties from the item map, and we are going to do the similar for the artist label. We are going to map the item ID to this label, and we are adding the same JavaScript lines. So here we take the item map, which was populated by our echo mode service, and we take the item that we have from WAC, and now we are going to address the property artist instead of name. And we are clicking OK. Now we go to another screen to make almost the same. We go to detail screen, and we are going to add duration information here. Instead of product ID. So just a second. And we'll rename this label to duration label. And we are going to go to response mapping for this service and find out where the product duration is set. So it's this duration label. And we are going to change the JavaScript to the one that we had there. So we can go back and copy it once again. So we are going to detail page again, and we go to data mapping and change this duration label to the duration property. So now we have changed our mappings, and we are going to test the application again right in our browser. But if we want, we also can test it on our phones, either by launching it in browser, by scanning QR code, or by having the mobile Tiggzi tester installed in our phone. So this is actually very convenient, because for these options we don't have to go through the process of building a binary and during development this can really cut the time. And if we want to, we can actually go and export for binary, but it's also nice to have such quick test features. So we see that now we have albums and artists go together. So I'm seeing what I'm going to buy. I select an album, and here we see its duration and description and price, and now we can click buy to see whether we can buy this item. We redirect it to the WAC page again, and we're using the test mobile number for successful fact payment, 4681. I'm going to check with the guide again. Yes, 4681. So now we select buy and confirm our transaction. So now we see that we are redirected to our app, and this means that we have made a payment successful, and now we can also, if we are interested in, we can add our custom processing to the last screen. For example, we can give user a link to download the album, and we also can go very deep into customization. For example, we can add any features that we want. We can add genre selection, or browsing by artist names, or anything that we want to implement in this app. So what we have just done was taking the Tiggzi and WAC plugin and creating an app based on it and customizing it in practically no time. So now you are ready to start building your own mobile app with Tiggzi and WAC as a mobile payment provider. So you can go forward and register at Tiggzi.com and try it. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to leave us with the screen with the contact information. Thanks again, Andrew. That's a lot of information to get through. So I hope people have been suitably saturated. But you can see that there's a really good kind of connection between the WAC API and the Tiggzi as a development platform that actually makes this kind of thing work. And you can see through our partners at Developer Garden that the API, that's another aspect of the growing API economy and just how important it is in development. So that's about it. I'd just like to repeat that this is recorded, and people will be notified of the availability of the recording. And I'm just going to leave this contact info up for just a few more seconds, and then I'm going to shut everything down. Thanks a lot to everybody for coming. I'm sorry we ran over a little. I think there are just a lot of more more capabilities that have evolved into Tiggzi, and that was kind of shown in the demo. So goodbye to you.